Minnesota Vikings have had a long and not so great history when it comes to kicking. Kicking ain't easy, right? And so Vikings kickers will always break your heart. And now it comes to Greg Joseph. So even though Greg Joseph hasn't necessarily cost the Vikings a game this season, the fact that the Vikings are playing all of these close games and it's coming down to him, I don't know. And also, it's not even like the missed 50-yarders. That's whatever. But the missed PATs in the Saints, Dolphins, Cardinals, and Bills games, it changed the dynamic of the game. It kept the other teams in as opposed to a two-score lead. It completely changed things. But whatever. But the Vikings, since they are bound and determined to play all these close games, eventually will Greg Joseph's mistakes, will they cost them? I don't know. Like it would be unfair if this special season came down to just one kick. But it sort of is what it is. And Greg Joseph this season, yes, hey, he's a perfect 12 of 12 for field goals under 50 yards. He's 1 of 6 from over 50. And this is, you know what's crazy? He's supposed to be the big leg guy. Like, he's supposed to be the long-distance specialist, man. But more disconcerting is the 4 PAT misses. Leads the NFL in misses. He has 9 misses in 9 games, which is not good, because generally, you know what happens, it's one of those records where it's like Jeff Fisher having the all-time record for losses as a head coach. Like, you're just good enough where you stay employed but you keep losing. It's just like Greg Joseph, because if any other kicker had missed a fistful of kicks, he'd be cut. That's what happens. But Greg Joseph is just good enough where he hangs on, man. It's rough, man. And this season, his field goal percentage, 72.2% of qualifying kickers. So there's 26 of them around the league. He is last. PAT percentage, 84.0%. He is last. Misses 9. He is last. So something's got to happen, man. Either Greg Joseph has to get his ish together, or the Vikings have to bring in some competition. And this season, he was good early on. Good job in making that PAT in the Eagles game. But he missed 2 field goals against the Lions. And yes, they were both from 50. Actually, all of his missed field goals are from 50. But that was also the day that the Vikings had the door open. And then the Lions kicker also missed one to the right. So maybe it had to do some of the wind. Who knows? Missed a PAT in the Saints game that allowed them to stay in, and that double doink could have tied the game. The Bears missed 2 field goals. Could have came in handy as they were making a furious comeback. The Dolphins missed PAT, kept them within 8. Cardinals missed PAT, kept them within 8. So single score game. And then the Bills missed PAT. And I don't want to hear that, well, his missed PAT made it a 3-point game versus a 4-point game, because then the Vikings could have lost because the Bills would have gone down for a touchdown. I don't want to hear it. Anytime your kicker misses, it ain't good. It ain't good. So I don't want to hear revisionist history there. But the reason why the Vikings haven't moved on, beyond the whole mama, I can change him, or he'll just pull out of this funk, whatever, is that so his salary, his $2.433 million salary is fully guaranteed this year. So if they cut him, it would be $1.145 million against the cap the rest of the season, prorated, and then they'd have to spend cap to go out and find another kicker. And the fact that they have around $1.5 million in cap space right now, that's they're just hoping that Greg Joseph gets his ish together. But I mean, just taking a look at free agents, and this is from Spot Rack. I don't know if this is accurate, because kickers just get swapped out like batteries on toys on Christmas Day, so I don't know. But Rodrigo Blankenship to the practice squad, at least. So the Vikings have an open practice squad spot even after signing veteran tight end James O'Shaughnessy. So bringing in a kicker would make a ton of sense here, at least to give Greg Joseph a little bit of, hey, Greg, there's some competition. Like, you have a little bit of competition on the rooster, because, I mean, Greg Joseph, when Gabe Burkich was on the roster, he was good. Like, he got after it, and he ended that competition, and where he was just dynamite throughout the offseason. That's why the Vikings had so much confidence in him. That's why they're hanging on to hope that he's going to turn things around, and maybe he will. Maybe he will, and maybe he'll start hitting from 50, but the missed PATs, it's what's most concerning. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just don't. Either I hope Joseph, who I like, gets his stuff together, or the Vikings make a change, because it would be just a real shame if this season, which seems special, magic carpet ride, came down to a missed kick, and then just another chapter in the long Vikings history of kicking. Great. Great. But your thoughts are thoughts. Should the Vikings cut Greg Joseph or at least bring in some competition onto the practice squad? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.